Thursday, April 10th, our 5th graders at Forest Vista Elementary went to Waco and Georgetown on our Water Rocks field trip to see science in action.
Our field trip began early in the morning. We arrived at school at 6:15 where we met our chaperones and waited for the charter buses to pick us up.
On the bus, we played life science bingo and created a huge web of life using string. It took us about 2 hours to reach Waco. Our first stop was the Cavern Park Zoo. We learned about all the interactions in nature and we explored the Brazos River exhibit. Before lunch, we had an opportunity to walk through the other parts of the zoo, such as African and Asian exhibits.
That afternoon, we arrived at the inner space caverns. We took turns touring the cavern and learning about its formation and features. We also learned about different types of rocks, including sedimentary rocks.
One of the highlights of the day was the mineral dig that we did at the Inner Space Cavern line.
I really enjoyed going on the Water Rocks field trip, and one of the many things I learned is that about 71% of Earth is covered in water, and about 97% of that water is non-potable.
I was really excited when we went in the caverns and learned all this cool stuff like the flowstone and stalactites and stalagmites. But what I found was really interesting that for a stalactite or stalagmite to grow 2 inches takes nearly 40 years.
One of the exciting things I learned on Water Rocks field trip is when the caverns were first found, they found lots of fossils, even fossils from the Ice Age. On our Water Rocks field trip in Cavern Park Zoo, we learned how many animals adapted to their environment by using protective coloring, mimicry, and many other adaptations.
One thing I learned that was interesting about our trip to Water Rocks was that 0.0003% of the whole world is clean water.
When I was at Water Rocks, we learned about about the special adaptations about the animals and how it helped them survive.
I learned at Water Rocks about 71% of the earth is made of water and 97% is undrinkable water.
When I was in the inner
inner space caverns at Water Rocks, I learned that columns are formed over thousands of years.
It was cool that we got to go to the inner space caverns and see all the things instead of reading about it in the book.
When we were at the caverns, I learned that we wouldn't touch anything because otherwise the formations wouldn't grow.
I like the fact that on the jaguar spots, they're called rosettes, and I finally got to see one in real life.
One thing I liked about Water Rocks is how I got to see like an underwater ecosystem in real life, and it felt like I was underwater.
Everything we did in Water Rocks was amazing, but I especially like when we went to the caverns. I've only been to one cavern, but this cavern I saw many things I've never seen before, like when the calcite gleams when you put light under it, and the flowstone, that was huge. But the most thing I loved about that was you get to be under tons and tons of rocks and still be safe and peaceful.